Hello everyone, this is Tonelli. Welcome to episode 2 of Inside the Song. As you know, in this series I take one of my songs and I use it to show you the application of a certain musical or theoretical aspect, or maybe some guitar theory, or maybe a technique, or it can be pretty much anything. And usually this idea comes from one of our live masterclasses. And if you don't know about them, I'm going to tell you about it really quick. Every Saturday at 6:30 Central European Time, which is 12:30 EST, and then you kind of have to figure out your own time zone. But we get together every Saturday at that time, and I usually teach for about 30 to 45 minutes. That's the master class. And then I open it up for questions, so people can live ask me questions, and I do my best to answer them. And I've received a lot of feedback, and it's been extremely useful for a lot of people. So you're definitely invited every Saturday. So I hope to see you there. Today's songs, there's actually two of them, and they're both from my record Lights and Shadows from 2016. And the first one is called California, and it's a great song to study the Sus2 chords. Sus2 chords are chords that are made out of only the root, the second, and the fifth. They don't have a third, so the third is the note that tells you if a chord is major or minor. So these chords are kind of just sitting there, and you don't quite know if they're major or minor because they have this ambiguous sound, which is a beautiful sound, and I think I definitely overuse it. But the first song I'm going to show you, which is called California, gives you an idea of probably the simplest way you can use this chord. So let's check out the intro and a bit of the verse so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. As you can see, I'm using the same chord all over the intro, and actually it goes on through the pre-verse and the verse. And as a matter of fact, there's always a link down here to the song on your favorite streaming service, and you can open it up maybe and have it ready there so you can check it out while we're doing this and you can compare it. But it's a very simple idea. I'm taking one Sus2 chord in this shape. This is D. I'm playing 5th fret, 7th fret, and 9th fret. And I'm just moving the shape around. And the thing is that these chords are neither major nor minor, but one thing I like to do is take ambiguous chords, such as the Sus2, but also the Sus4, or a fifth, you know, the good old power chords. And these also are neither major nor minor, but I like to use them and let the progression fill it out, because one of these chords you might not know if it's major or minor. In this case of D, I'm missing an F for a D minor or an F sharp for a D major. But I just trust that the rest of the progression will make up for it. For example, this note here that I'm missing, the F or F sharp, is already present in this other chord, which is just as ambiguous as the first one because B flat Sus2 is still a Sus2 chord, but it has an F. And so this F kind of tells my ear, hey, you know, the first chord, which didn't have an F, but now I know that there's an F down there, so I know that this chord has to be interpreted as minor, because the FA is a minor chord. And it kind of works its way throughout the progression. And so that's one neat trick. You can just use ambiguous chords if you don't want to be too happy or too sad or too specific, and then just let the progression do the work for you. Okay, I'm going to show you how I play this little riff. It's the same chord, so I'm just going to show you to you on the 5th fret is 5, 7, 9, and then I'm just going to give you the number for my first finger, and you just move the shape. All right, so I'm doing D down to B flat on the 1st fret, and then up one set of strings on the 6th. The second time, I go to C on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, okay? All right, the second song I'm going to use is also from Lights and Shadows, but it's called The Traveler. And The Traveler makes a more complex use of these chords, but it's still quite simple. You'll get it in no time, I promise. And I'm just going to play it for you, and then we'll get into it. sure you heard that it's the same sound, but you know, it sounds more complex and deep. And I'm going to show you how I get that result. The idea here is that instead of having such a clear cut between Sus2 chords, I'm kind of playing a bit of a mind trick on you. And here's the thing. There are only 3 basic chords that I'm using, which are these. All right, very simple. It's B flat Sus2 on the 6th fret. Then I go up to the 9th fret to D flat. And then I go back to 6 on B flat. And then A flat on the 4th fret. So it's 6, 9, 6, 4. All right? Now, if you hear it like this, you actually hear 4 separate chords. It sounds like I'm playing B flat Sus2, D flat Sus2, B flat Sus2, and A flat Sus2, which is fine. But I wanted something a lot more involved musically. I wanted the listener to be like, you know, moving around with the music. And so this was a bit too specific. So here's what I did. I changed the octaves for some of these chords. And I'm actually doing different things on each side. There's 2 guitars. But I'm going to show you like a sum of both parts. The first time I do this, which is B flat. And then instead of playing the D flat on the 9th fret of the 6th string, I play the same thing but on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. Same chord. Same thing, just an octave higher. But when you listen to them in sequence, it makes the first 2 chords sound like one. Now, it doesn't sound like 2 chords. It kind of sounds like 1 chord. All right? There's still 2 chords, but you can put them together. So your ear, what it hears here is kind of a B minor 11. That's kind of the sum of these 2 parts. And then when I do the other part, I use this A flat, but I use it on the 6th fret of the 4th string. And this is more like a B flat Sus 11 probably. But here's the combination. But now I'm going to switch between playing long chords and the short ones, and I get this result. So you see how I'm using this to kind of give you 2 things at once. I'm giving you a clear-cut chord progression on one hand, but on the other hand, I'm mixing it up, and you quite don't know if it's 2 chords, 4 chords, and which one is moving, because I'm also doing it in stereo. There's one guitar on the left and one on the right, and they switch octaves at different times. Same chords, but you know, they're all jumbled up. And so it kind of works, I think, to pull you into the song, and it's more, you know, it's kind of a otherworldly as an effect. And then I can kind of float over it with the melody. So again, check out the songs down here at the links, so you can get an idea for, you know, the whole feel of them. And maybe you can explore this further and come up with your own great ideas on how to use Sus2 chords and even apply to other chords that you like. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. And I'll see you hopefully this Saturday and the following Saturdays for our live masterclasses. Stop by, say hello, ask questions, and I hope I can be of use. See you soon. Bye-bye.